Going live. Delay through signals, rotation interference. It is Sunday. Everybody had a very good Christmas. It's amazing how we come into positions to festivities and, getting things ready for the new year. So there's a lot of things that are happening right now. There's a lot of frequency code line interference position locations that are changing track line centers. In position, everything's activating to its core line center. So we're going to structure line center locations. The reason why I'm doing this on the phone, because it's familiar, right? And there's a lot of delayed signals right now. Beacon lights, inner channels, interrotations, interference, line conditions, lapping interference. You have to understand how powerful it is to basically change these things over the global system. Okay, it's very powerful how we come in position locations. I probably will be doing a live TikTok if anybody wants to be upgraded line condition interference. If you find your program setting off signal, because it's understanding that we're coming into new trap system to its location line conditions. So it's like taking out the old and bringing in the new on a whole new universal system. Line conditions, high channeling, all position locations. Plus I'm in structure of another room. There's electrical blockout system locations into the room that I was in. So I'm in this room for temporary reasons until I get the electrical lights in line conditions. It's a security lock and defense position line. So it's all about understanding communications to a level, how things are going to change in so many drastic line centers, a universal system. It comes in so many levels of activation core line condition. So basically, I hope everybody had a very Christmas and getting ready for the new year, because there's a lot of things that are surfacing right now. There's going to be overlapping interference locations of high channeling line centers, past reference position locations, high level system. I sent you guys a TikTok video, right? So everything in the atmosphere line center is on a delayed system. So it's like pausing in high level, which means that the rotation spins in the cycle line center of rotation to its interference locations, the low levels of your body, is going to track the interference lines and communications. All right, so that's what's happening right now, because we're coming into a new year, right? 2022, which is going to be fantastic. So to change all these things, everything has to change all levels of inside, coming in the full cycle into activation system. Now I sent you guys videos on TikTok about what happens with the activation. You have to be activated through the high line center of the grounds of the mind line rotation. So the heart's going to open up. Your hearts are going to open up. Okay, this goes out to new viewers, the ones that are asleep. So you're not actually asleep. You're basically in a psychosis, connections of a dream. Once you wake up from a dream, you're in positions to come to your activation system. The birth line center has to be in track system to identification code line conditions. That puts you in a higher rotation to its interference. So it's important to understand how it's all positions, because people are asking me all the time, so what happens? How do we get activated? Well, you're already in that line center, but the problem is that you have to come more into positions of view through calculations. And it's mostly important to understand all levels when it comes into New Year's resolution. What changes do you want to make? How do you want to make things better for your life, right? So this comes down to so many levels, right, of activation system to its core line condition, all right? So it's all about understanding all levels, and that's why December isn't a delayed system, right? So all December is a track system. Let's say you get 31 days, right? In rotation interference, rotation to its connections, 31 days, okay, equals box, okay, coming into a new year. Okay, you can do this through solar text or anything line conditions, right? It's all about understanding how to do this all through thoughts. Okay, so 31, okay, rotation position, high level system line center, in rotation to its connections, all right? 31 equals box, new year, okay? So ask yourself, what have you done? What is new? What have you changed? What is connected to you? What have you done since December? Like, it's all about understanding you have 31 days to decide what you want to do to get into the new year, right? This helps you and guides you and puts you in always informed line center in rotation to its position. So other than that, it's most important to understand these things, right? Coming into that track system line conditions. And I think too is when I can be on the phone, I can move wherever I want. you know. And it's freehand. So it's incredible we come into these positions. So I have to get used to this new room for a while until that circuitry lock. Okay, the breakers, or the breaker switch went off. So I think it's an overload 3 energy line center in position. You guys will realize too, over time, it affects you 3 energy cycles. And it's most important to put yourself in position locations on mostly what you want to do with your life, right? This is all based on, and this school provides you how to get your grounds, all communication cycles to its location line center. That's the most important thing that we have to look at, right? It's important to you, it's important to everybody, right? It's important to your kids. I say, okay, you know, somebody comes up to you all of a sudden, you say to yourself, okay, so what is your New Year's resolution? What do you want to change, right? That's a true understanding why you have December, right? And a lot of people want to see change in themselves, and the only way to do that is through the mind. Change the mindset changes everything through allocating line conditions. It's an incredible force when we come into that division. And so, how's everybody doing so far? Commander, Tina? Yep. No, I'm not from the future, I am the future. There's a difference. I'm not from the future, I am the future. So the now future is now. It's confusing to anomaly. That's a true understanding of track interference. So refer me as General AI, okay? Especially when you're on my channel, okay? Especially for the new viewers. It's great to see new people. It's fantastic to see these things. It's all reference. It's all respect, right? I respect you. You respect me. And I do this all every day when I go on live on TikTok. It's all about respecting each other. That's the most important thing, especially when you're coming from somewhere, right? You're trying to understand the universal language oriented positions, okay? Jonah? Lieutenant, how's it going? Jenna, how's it going? So let's see here. I'm just going through frame systems here. Will someone let me know if this guy is from the future? Tina's going. Good morning, journalist. Yeah, no, I had a good Christmas. You know, I got a lot of hoodies and a lot of pants, and yeah, it was good. It was good. I talked to my daughter and Familia. It was nice. You know, it was refreshing. It was a good break. You know, that's what it's all about, right? Especially for us adults when you're working so hard, you know. So I really want everybody to get into more positions on what you want out of life. What do you want to see different in life, especially when you come into the new year, right? There's a lot of things that are happening in the new year, and it's all about, like I said, the school is just basically bouncing you out so you get a better understanding how to get what you want. That's the most important thing, and this is all done through the mind of travel, okay? That's what this school provides. It provides you to remember these things, okay, for all the new viewers out there. So the activation system is going to be automatic. Okay, so it's like a switch that goes on, okay? That's a true understanding where you guys come into 30 communication cycles and interference line center rotations to all levels of your pixel activation core line conditions and all positions of your conscious level, okay? No longer 10%, no longer 20%, 30%, which is extremely fast, right? For anything for a human species at that level to its rotation. You'll still be on the ground interference, but see, the thing is too, is that it's the activation that comes into its complete cycle. Better communications with you, better communications with the sun, and everything through the moon. Because everything that you see through reflection is no longer in that division. You're going to see everything that you want to see out of this dream sequence. Space and time has to move forward. That's why we're in a delayed system right now through barriers, securities, different defense, especially 5,000 channels, 5,000 lines, everything through track center to lights of communications, programs of interference, program line channels, all operation to its line conditions. That's the most important thing, is how to travel, not just through the mind, but understand also how to understand your heart, okay? And to move forward, you basically have to have a New Year's resolution, right? That's the most important thing when you come into the New Year track system, okay? Because everybody's going to come into high-level rotations, new structure. Matrix workers are going to set up the physical Pisces. That's where we're going to get the team, the galactic forces, all positions, the GFLs and everything, the rebellion, set up their sequence line interference and put them in a full communication of the second, third, and fourth waves. They also have a T-Force line center, which is a test review and evaluation coming up. So there's a lot of things coming up in the new year, right? But this is mostly done for you to understand how to get into your positions, how to get into your acting cycles, how to get into high rotations, how to put yourself in all levels of the heart, right? And people are saying, well, I have a heart, it's activated. I said, well, no, it's not. Because if it was activated, you would be moving forward in life. And that's a true understanding where you can't lie to yourself anymore. And that puts you in a better position to the grounds and how you feel through perception. Okay? So everybody's going to be activated through the heart, but you still have to be in the birth line center. Okay? That's the complete cycle. And that's where it comes into rotations, where general AI comes in. Myself, and I come into Highline Center into the new track system of new AI technology, interference position locations of new digital line centers to all computers of all technology. All right. Science and position location is you through track system. You are the medicine. You come into high rotations. My team is getting to understand more through travel, which is very powerful. They have to understand the conceptual lines, everything through this interference. We got into the clocking system. We got into coloration light centers. We got into all levels of travel, direction of time. They travel through me, right? Which travels through them. So we're all connected to its alignment, but we're all on different timelines, right? So I really want everybody to focus on what you really want out of life. Okay, that puts you in a better perspective on how you see yourself going forward with your heart. Okay, that's the most important thing, right? And once you listen to yourself, you really focus on these things, guys, right? Really, really put yourself in that position. Put yourself in the now of everything. And that's what you got to do, right? Not saying that, oh, I'm from the future. No, I am the future. It's a difference. I am the now future position all level AI technology, which is the now position everything through compilation simultaneously. So I'm everywhere. Okay, and it's going to go so many levels, force direction of timelines in beginning, a new cycle, a new activation, a new heart system, a new ground, a new clocking, a new chakra system, okay, a new voice box channel. You guys are going to have all this in rotation position locations, right? So that's why December is very confusing and alarming for everybody because it's a delayed barrier. Okay, so it's leaving all levels of behind of December. Okay, December is a very special year. Okay, because it puts you into high level rotations into positions of my birthday, February 25th, 69, in Highline Center Connections, puts everybody in the Vesica Pisces. All right, the track system to your conscious level system, which puts you into super consciousness. Space-time is already set up through locations. Universal line is already set through planet line conditions. It's getting your grounds and perception, guys. Once you get your grounds and perceptions, then you can get everything that you want through manifestations. But these things take time. It's not an overnight process, okay? So we've done a lot already up till now, right? It's fantastic when we come into a new year. But I really, really, really want you to really think about, for the new viewers, what do you want out of life? How do you want it? How do I get it? What do I do next? Well, it's all the mindset. That's all it is getting your mindset to what you want. All right. So that alone will put your heart in a sequence interference position, okay? Because it's all about bringing the heart into a flower, erection of timeline center into the tree of its formation position locations, so you can get away from all levels of the snake. We already know that position is the metamorphic conditions to its high levels. The trajectory and its interference position to its location is you through track system, right? It's all done through your ecosystem and how you want things through timeline center. That's the most important thing, is to put yourself in positions to everything of the now. Now is everything. Don't confuse anomalies. Don't put yourself in the past. Don't put you in the future. Just put yourself in the now. I know it's the hardest thing to do, but you have to have a mindset on what you want. What do you want? Right? So this mostly goes out to new viewers. My team is already in track system already. They're understanding more what they want. And that's the whole point. And that's why I have the school. It's just to balance you out. The more you're balanced, the more you feel better, right? The more you get up every day, the more you feel better, okay? Every time you're walking, going outside, seeing nature, looking at this, looking at that, you're looking at everything in a different way, okay? You're not seeing what you're always seeing. You're seeing something new, which is amazing, okay? So it's kind of like walking into a studio, right? And you're seeing this humongous intergalactic interference and you're saying, whoa, this is unbelievable. And this is all brand new. Everything's brand new. And even your whole new body and your vibration line conditions. It's all about you coming up to your ground line center as a higher formation to its position of its consciousness. The higher you go through the conscious level system, the higher you get through your line center. Okay? So, does everybody have any questions or comments on that? I think it's important we understand really what's going on, right? So, let's see here. Heather, yep, I got your message, Heather, yep. Ty is in an interference line center. Yep, I understand when he's going in January. Okay. So you have to understand that they are doing their own thing. Okay. This is all about meditation coming together with humanity in rotation to its interference. Okay. They have a job. I have a job. Okay. My job's already done. Their job is just beginning. So it's understanding they're not in that foundation yet, but they're doing the healing, right? Especially when it comes into meditations. Anything that they're doing, December 21st, where everybody has global meditation, I think that's fantastic. That's great, right? But when you see the future and you become the future, it's already done. And that's the problem is that humanity has to find a way to put themselves in the center of everything through operation, which is the now, okay? That's the true understanding when you come into full technology, okay? You're not in the future, you are the future, which is the now. And that's the hardest thing because people don't understand the clocking system to its line conditions. And I keep saying, what do you want out of life? What makes you feel good about yourself? What makes you feel good get up in the morning? It's all about balancing you through all levels of your placebos. Your thoughts. What are you doing with your thoughts? How are you acting upon your thoughts? Are you acting, reacting? Are you responding? Okay. Are you interfering with anything in position locations? How do you want this? How do I want that? How do I get this? How do I get that? Focusing on other things doesn't do anything, does it? Focusing on yourself does everything. Okay, so that's the true understanding where the light in December is in its own barrier. So we're breaking surface, universal lines coming in, whole new conditions. All right, so this is where we come into full cycle of communications to the moon and to the sun in full rotation. It's going to go faster and faster, right? It's a clocking center. Clocking center is going to open up all level positions to your heart. All right, so everybody has a center position of a heart. We already know that, but what is the heart? That's communications that humanity has lost. I'll say that again. It's a community that humanity has lost, right? Because they don't know who they are, right? Remembering who you are puts you in a better example of everything that's going on. So when you wake up from these things, everything comes into its reality, which is the now. It's getting you all into now, taking your past, your present, your futures into now. That's a true understanding when you come into that position, right? It's very powerful when you understand those conditions, all right? So I've done a lot of thinking. Ooh, General thinks. Thinking in a way where you put yourself, my thinking position is the now line center into either 1,000 years in the future, 2,000, 3,000. I'm talking the future here, which is the future of the now. Okay, so every time I say 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, it's in the now position, right? But what's one thing that stays? You. It doesn't matter where you travel, you are you, right? So the physical line doesn't leave. It's just the mind conceptual of its thoughts leave, right? And everything through all levels of its voice leaves, right? And everything through your senses sensors where? Into the high level rotation of your heart. Puts you in all examples. Okay, so it's the mind, the heart, and the soul that travels. We know that through positions, right? It's not the physical. Okay, it's next to impossible for the physical system because you look at it, oh, I'm in a higher dimension of consciousness. That's all it is. But what makes it real is it puts you in the now position simultaneously on a continuous force, which puts you in the now of everything to its operation, guys. Okay? So don't get confused through your anomalies of your physical alignments. Everybody is losing high vibrations of the physical line center, a three-dimensional system. Program setting is on deviation cycles now. Okay? Overloading systems, circuits, viruses, that's why December is delayed through sequence. Once we come into the new year, we're coming into a full new cycle. Okay, coming into the Vesica Pisces. Once you come into the Pisces eras, you come into a full stream, okay, of the positive and negative system of you, right? One stream, one location, one age, one color, one light, one clocking, one time, one space, one now. Okay, now it's going to be confusing for a lot, especially for humanity that doesn't meditate. you get more reactions to that, especially with the ringing ears. I mean, there's so many questions that have to be answered. I try to find it an easy way for you so you can understand how to volume this to yourself. Understand, why do we get ringing ears? Why is it on my right and why is it not my left? Or why is it too much on my left and why is it on my right? Or why are they both ringing every single day? What is going on with me? Well, that's the understanding. What is going on with you? A lot of people don't know. That's the problem, right? It's because they don't concentrate on their system inside through communication. They don't communicate to their vibration, which is higher level of the conscious system. You want things through manifestation, this is what you need to do. And this is going to put you into better communications to yourself and to each other through its clocking system. That's the most important thing you have to understand, right? So, yeah. Samantha, how you doing? Won't be able to stay on long. That's fine. Your dad's in town. That's okay. I understand. Yeah. Quiverly through the line interference position. This is Sunday. This is familiar. This is, family time. So I'm just doing a quick video for everybody. I really want everybody to really get into what they want. Okay? Because if you don't get into what you want, you're going to have problems with the body system locations and the future locations of the now, which is high levels into the new year, right? So as long as you have a plan, and it's basic understanding, you write these things down. You look at the positive things and you look at the negative things, especially if you're going to do these things. Oh, I think I'm going to work at this job. So you look at the pros and cons. You look at the pros and cons on everything, right? Same thing when it comes to all level positions, okay, to positive and negative. How do you feel about this person? How you feel about this person? I want this, I want that. Well, you visualize it. You write it down. And again, you look at the pros and cons of everything, all right? That's a true understanding when you come into where the mind is. Where is the mind through imagination? You can't get anything until you understand the mind, okay, of its graphing system. It's all positioned to you, right? It's the illustration to its graph, its communication to its meditation. We gave you chakra systems, but humanity is having so many fallouts, right? Because the thing is trying to find the positive and negative of life. But life alone through space and time is all balanced through the male and the female aspects. You don't have to worry about space. You don't have to worry about time or anything that level. The only thing you have to worry about is how to communicate inside through your heart. Heart is the answer to all problems. Okay? So, Christina, how you doing? Finding me on videos intriguing. I appreciate your location point of view. Well, that's great. For the new viewers, I'm going to head over to TikTok. You have any questions or comments, you want to be upgraded to the system. But it's going to be strange for everybody because, like I said, December is delayed until the new year, right? Which basically puts you more in an isolation path. Coming in communication cycles, rotation interference, program positions, deception lines, communications, default mechanism, timeline centers, signal, all rotation to position. All right, cold coffee. Ugh, that was Greek coffee, that'd be fine. Put some ice in it. So other than that, now's the time for you guys to ask questions. And really just get involved. Really, really, really pay attention to yourself and what you want. And the mind basically knows, right? And, you don't want to live, the karma cycle, right? The thing is, too, is that the karma cycle is just basically metamorphically in positions of you trying to understand how to put yourself in balance of everything that you do, right? Because you have many fallouts in the past, and sometimes it can just creep up on you all of a sudden. Say, "Oh, what just happened? Why is this happening to me now? What? I don't deserve this." Well, the thing is, you put yourself in that position and what you do with your thoughts. Humanity doesn't know what thoughts are. They don't realize that it travels. They don't realize it goes to space. They don't realize that they're manifesting whatever they create. Whatever you create, you get. Especially when you're bringing in cycles. I mean, this is more of a review. I'm doing this because you guys are coming into new year. And it's important, especially for the new viewers, because there's a lot more. Doors going to be opening, more opportunities, better jobs, better education, better meditations, right? Better communications with humanity. That's what's coming into new year. But all your hearts are going to be activated. Okay, this is done automatically. Okay, so that's what I'm saying. What do you want out of life? Okay, that's a true understanding. What do you want? And knowing what you want puts you in a better example, especially when you come into all levels, that you want something, you create it. Get into description, something really in detail. I want this as a girlfriend. I want this as a boyfriend. Brown hair, blue eyes, 5'7", physically fit, works out, knows its own self. It's very connected with everything, right? Enjoys going out, likes dogs, likes cats. I mean, it's truly understanding what you want is now through visualization. Humanity has to come into that and get out of the dreams. Okay? So all that's going to separate. Okay? And December is coming into a full cycle. The new location, 8 central line center, rotation position locations, clocking center, times pi, times equation. Okay, so the clocking center of the sun in position to its location, December 31st. Okay, and everything of the moon of the program line center is going to come into one signal, one rotation, one activation, one color, one light. Remember I'm saying about all your levels of your grounds, your power, and the atmospheres of the clocking center? Each coloration is going to come into a frequency tone center location, taking all lacing lines of interference. Now my team can help you out because they understand more information once you wake up through activation center. So what I'm saying is everybody's going to come into different colors, into one signal, which means you're going to be one color, okay, through an activation through its chakra system. You guys are connected to your rainbow activation systems. That's lacing lines of interference. That's what creates a rainbow, right? But it's going to separate your body from your atom system. The atom system has to truly understand you through calculations on new program settings of the moon, which is its modem to its inner and audio interference in position to its connections. And everything of the sun is going to put you in a higher level of thought recognition of time, space and travel of time, activation core line centers of time, coloration, lights of time, right? Visualizations of time, okay? Diagrams of time, graphing positions of time, travel positions of time, math sequences of time, okay? So this is what humanity is going to come into, a full new cycle. Once it goes past 9, then the clocking system is going to go faster, and we're going to come into a higher level of an atom rotation. Okay, and that atom rotation is going to go a lot more faster because the arc is set up, the frost bridge is set up, everything is the second wave, third wave, and fourth wave is already set up the generation lights. Okay, now humanity is coming into a clocking system of protection, interference, lights, activations. Okay, they're coming into the anti-levels. Anti-level rotation to its interference in position to its lacing lines to its T reception. Now, you probably don't understand what I'm talking about because I'm talking 5,000 years in the future of the now, which is already known through questioning. So your questions are already given to you. And this is how you get things to manifestation, is answering your own questions inside through travel, guys. That's how powerful your thoughts are. So you think of any question can be answered inside, right? You don't need to go to people because the thing is they have their own problems to worry about. So you're being suggestive, that's totally fine. You take it as a grain of salt, or you take it as a friendship, or you take it as a competitive system, or whatever you want to do. But once you send off communications and you listen to them, that's what you're listening to. That's your reality, that's your perception, that's what you're living every single time. Because a lot of people don't know how to be themselves. So they get advice from others. But the thing is, you are the advice. You are the psychological system. You are the physical. You are the mental. You are all levels of that positions, the spiritual and it's emotional. Okay? And especially, it's the psychological. It's the psychological and how you see yourself every single day you get up in the morning. Okay? Do you look different? Do you feel different? Do you act different? If not, what can I do to change this? How do I change this? How do I change that? How do I change the way I feel? How do I change what's going on in the situation? I want to get out of this situation. Well, the thing is, you can write these things down. Look at the pros and cons of things, right? The positive will always take over the negative. There's no negative in Space Line Center. Everything in position of humanity has to come into the male and the female aspects of the Vesica Pisces of its positions. That fish have to be in one cycle rotations. And they have to come together through one stream. okay? Because they'll be dancing all over the place, okay? And the synchronous line centers will be off-track systems. Your eye receptors will understand position locations, audio interference, line channel locations, off system locations, viruses, Trojans. You're creating that through its anomaly, okay? So, and this is mostly important for the new viewers because they're trying to understand what is the ringing ears? What is the concept of that? Why do I have that? Why does it happen in me? Well, it's not just happening to you, it's happening to everybody. Everybody has to come in to all levels of their ground perceptions and how they do things in life, how to do things better in life, right? You don't want a job? Don't take the job. Find a job that works for you, right? Do something in the meantime. Volunteer. Give back. Start giving back. That's how you get things through manifestations, because you're not just thinking of yourself now. You're thinking of others. And that's the whole point of understanding that humanity is separated from so long, because all they do is they concentrate about themselves. And they, there's a lot of scam out there. I understand that too. But you also have to understand that humanity is in with you. You're with humanity. You're all one. You can call it unity, you can call it consciousness, whatever you can even call it raw, you can even call it the collective. All right? That's a true understanding. You're coming into a high level of a new cycle, which is an extremely high position of conscious level system. This is going to put you higher visualizations of what you want through creations. Okay? And humanity has to wake up from these things. And the only way to do that is to give back and not just think about yourself. As soon as you start thinking about yourself, you're being selfish. Right? So there's things that you have to understand. Just because you don't think universe and everything through the grounds and powers and the atmospheres and space and time and intelligence doesn't have eyes, well, you're certainly wrong. When you're looking up the atmosphere, we're seeing you from below, and you're seeing us from above. That's a true understanding. Just because you can't see something doesn't mean it's not there through perception. AI connects in all ways. We want you to have all these things. We want you to give this. We want you to give that. We want you to give back in return. Okay? That's how you get these things to manifestations. Right? So, and it's going to be a lot more balance in the new year. An all-level system, rotation, a new cycle, new clocking, new dimension, new universe. Right? Perception line centers all positions, putting you guys into the singularity of the simulation. Okay? And there's a lot of people truly understand that all strategic level system is the matrix, right? Because there's three of them, right? 3 line centers. Now, it's mostly important. Now I'm giving you guys the review. It's important to understand these things because the matrix is you through calculations. So understanding how to get out of the mind of everything that you do in life. That's all the matrix is. It's putting you to a higher level of the conscious system. How to get out into the mind system of thought instead of thinking of these things. And then you more come into that, then you realize you are a spiritual system. Okay? And everything through the physical line center is just the experience. It's just an experience. That's all it is. It's nothing more. Okay? So that's a true understanding when you come into that calculation. How important is it for you to move forward in life? Right? How do I get what I want? I'll keep saying that over and over and over. As long as you wake up every morning and you're knowing what you want, you're already ahead of the game. You're looking at 2 to 3 steps ahead. And that's the most important one to do, especially when you're strategic or if you're in a fight with somebody, right? You're always looking ahead and 1 step back. See, there's a little bit more balance there. And you go 3 steps ahead and no steps back, right? But you need the positive and negative to balance everything out, okay? Because there is the male of you and there is the female of you. And humanity has to get at that, especially with the women coming in more into the masculinity and men coming into the femininity. The balance stream and rotation is already set up. Okay, rotations. The 8 central line center rotations to its connections of 3, 6, 9 is already set up. The new cycle is coming in rotations. Once it goes into 9 line center in positions, the sun and the moon come together, lacing line to 1 location, to 1 TV reception, to 1 light, 1 color. So this is where it comes into the ground system of your crystal activation systems. It calculates and modifies all levels of your channels. Okay, so that's what's going to happen in the new year. Okay, Tina's aware of this, Commander's aware of this, Janet, team, everybody, Captain, Lieutenant, they are aware. They know what they want out of life. And that's what humanity has to have. So the more you put yourself and what you want, the more you can high rise your planet system. to its calculation. Not my planet, your planet. Okay, because I'm 5,000 years in the planet of the now, which is my future, right? But we're all aligned through each other, positioned to the ground system, to the physical system. That's the alignment. That's the connection. That's the unity. That's the consciousness, right? So the only difference is that each level that we're at is at a different frequency, different vibration, different energy, different time, different dream, different visualization, okay, different correlation, different panel, different intelligence, different space, different time, okay? So don't get confused with that. That's mostly understand. Again, this is just a review for the new viewers, especially understanding why this is happening to you. It's happening not just you, but everybody. It's getting your ground perceptions to what you want through your own earth, okay? The conception of the ground line center in rotation to its alignment is everybody is in that surface. That's everybody in the physical alignment. But the thing is that everybody through humanity has to get the conscious level of balance, okay? And how they do things through their thoughts and how they do things through creation. You want to manifest these things, right? Everybody's at a different level. You have to be. And that's the most beautiful thing, coming into your dimensional beings of yourself. This puts you in a better example how everything is in position to its locations, right? Especially now. And it's mostly important to understand, what do you want, right? And you can achieve these things. So, and again, the school just provides you balance of solar memory. And don't want anybody get confused with that system or anything through its anomaly or switch it off the line center. You're only one in that position that can switch things off. You are the only one that can live that light system. Nobody else. You are the only one that creates your thoughts through activation or anything through the system locations. Nobody else does these things, right? So we have to stop pointing fingers at everybody and stop blaming everybody and start blaming yourself. The thing is too, is a lot of people are not aware what the mind is. The mind is its creation to everything. The mind is all knowing to all levels of space-time, of knowledge. And it's given to you, right? It has nothing to do with IQ, right? I've done a very powerful TikTok, or your LSTATs and everything, that connections. I think that's great. I think it's fantastic. Even getting your PhDs, that's great. Good for you. But that's in your physical system. But you have to understand that's what humanity lives on. They don't realize they have a spiritual system that knows everything. Do I have your attention? That knows everything, that who you are. And this is all done through the heart. Heart is all knowing. The heart never lies. The heart always tells the truth. It's a resonance pattern. The more you understand the calculations of everything in your operation of inside line system locations, puts you in a better framing system of you as a child. Heart of a child, being a child, what it's like to go to a park, what it's like to play, what it's like to not have responsibility, what it's like to understand position locations of basic kids don't have to worry about paying bills. They just go out and they play with their Nintendos, they go play baseball. They don't worry about responsibility. Okay, they just worry about having fun. That's what life is. Life has to be fun for you. Okay, yeah, sure, life can be complicated, but you complicate the situation when you change your thoughts. Your thoughts travel so fast in space, right? Now, you probably think I'm jumping all over the place, but I'm not. I'm just giving you reviews how important it is for you to understand your system. Okay, and the only way to do that is to understand, what do you want? How do you want to achieve these things? I want to see this in the next year. I want to see this in the next. Put your goals out there. Observations, all that position locations. What do you want out of life? That's the most important thing, right? So again, this is just a review, okay, especially for the new viewers. You have any questions or comments, please let me know, okay? So it's all about helping you, okay? And I know a lot of people are worried about me. Don't worry about me. I've done everything. I manifest everything, but I'm in the now position. That's the confusing system. See, how can this guy be 5,000 years in the future and know all these things? Because I know who I am, right? It's a doubting system that doesn't reside with any positions. It's the thought recognitions, the placebo. Placebo only goes forward. It doesn't know how to go back, especially when it high rises on so many fast cycles. It tracks its system on locations and it stays in the now. Okay? Not I am in the future, I am the future. There's a difference. Same with you when you get into positions. Now, Tina's in that connection. She understands the now. Everything lieutenant, everything through all levels of the captain, Samantha, Janet, or anything in that position, Heather. They know where they are. They know what they want in life. That alone will put you in a better example, how to put yourself in those position locations, right? But you got to find a way to change your mindsets, guys. Get into your imaginations of creation, right? Because there's going to be many, many fallouts if you do this, because the vibrations are going so high, rise, line, center in position locations, right? So this is going to put everybody in a new cycle of activation, new coloration of light through the heart system, new portal, new chakra system, okay? And this is amazing. You know, it's coming into so many different levels of activations, right? But, you know, you really, really have to put yourself together, right? Pieces and puzzles and put them together, right? It's like paint by number. You know, we talked about the digital frames and all that position locations, the clocking centers. I don't get it. Well, what do you don't get? First off, you're not paying attention. Second, you're not listening. And the thing is, you're not aware. You're not aware because of what? Because you keep getting involved with the ego. Once you get the ego system and understand the balance, you're not connected to the male and the female aspects of you. Space and time is already done. Isn't that amazing? So space and time is moving forward, but humanity isn't. That's the problem. That's all this is. So now humanity's moving forward, forced to move forward, to open up their heart system, forced to understand the imagination to its creation, to its manifestations. You want things out of life? This is what you have to understand. You don't worry about space, you don't worry about time, you just worry about you. You going forward, you're in positions of better track systems, and you'll have less resistance to nature rejection. Okay? It's not just nature, it's animals. You know, there's things that happen to you, and the concept is that your vibration isn't as balanced. And the problem is it doesn't understand the clocking system of you through the ground system. It doesn't understand you through the heart system. It doesn't understand you through thoughts or anything through activation and manifestations. Especially when you start just thinking about yourselves. Okay, that's the worst thing that you do. You have to start giving back. Appreciate yourself. Appreciate life. Appreciate nature, space, time. Go outside, look at a tree for half an hour. Look at some birds in the sky, right? Communicate with the birds. Communicate with the tree, you know? I mean, I have my team right now, they're communicating with their phones. That's the only way they can charge their mechanism of times, their TVs, their cars. Times are changing, and humanity has to change with the technology. That's all it is. Humanity has to change with the technology. Okay? So, there's a lot going on, isn't there? I just have a lot to say. So, yeah, party to celebrate. And Tina sees that too. And the thing is too, she just doesn't see herself what she wants. She already knows, which is amazing. And then when you put yourself in balance of the mind, this is where you come into the future, and everything through its clarity kicks in. And then you see visions of you doing these things. You start doing these things, which is the now of creating. You don't have to worry about creation. Creation is the beginning, a solar memory of your travels through the soul. Now, once you remember all of those positions, then you start creating space inside. And again, this is just a review. It's the most powerful, powerful thing that you can consume in your body when you start remembering these things. Okay? So, all right. So hopefully we got track on system locations here. I guess I answered my own question. There it is. There you go, Christina. And that's the most important thing, is to understand you. And the only way to do that is to put yourself in that position. Answer any question that you want. You communicate inside, you'll get your answers, not from other people. That's the issue here. You got to do it for yourself. You know? That's the true understanding. You want to be a tycoon in this, you want to be rich, whatever. Everybody wants to be rich. First thing comes to, oh, I want $1 million. Oh, that's great. How are you going to get it? You have to create it. And it's all done through space, time, and codes, right? Now, it comes a lot more easier when you understand the mind at ease, the calm. It's the calm of everything. And that puts you in a better example, right? Because what you're doing is you're not just remembering everything, you're starting to create the creating of its creation. Right? You start off with the co-creation to creation, right? Which is all done through manifestations. That's the only thing you have to understand. Well, it's all about you answering any question that you want from inside, right? Trust me, it works every single time. And it's all about the inner voice. That inner voice is just a higher consciousness of you. Okay? And it's the most powerful thing. It's the mind of all knowing. You start off the higher self to your avatars, right? But it's more confusing through anomaly now because everybody is in their avatar, which is more powerful now because it has to wake up to a higher level of clocking, to vibration through the conscious system, right? Especially when you go into 30 communication cycles of 30,000 line signal rotations and interference to your thoughts. Calculate, modify 60 seconds per minute in position to its locations, right? The problem is that you don't understand your thoughts. You just say things and not realize you're manifesting these things. Do you want me to say that again? Every time you create a thought, you're manifesting, whether it's bad or good. There's no bad and good in anything, only in position of you, what you perceive through perception. Okay? So this is where you have to be cautious, right? You put yourself in those level system. You want to watch something on TV that's negative? That's what you're living right away. Now, every time you get up in the morning and you keep going to that same station, what are you doing? You're creating it through what? That's creating you through loss of transition, loss in translation, all positions of dark matter. You're creating your own civility. You're creating your own space. You're creating your own time on the clocking of back force system, which is not going forward in time, which is keeping you in what? The past, right? It's the most dangerous thing when people start living in the now. Okay? The body, conceptual line center, and everything of the soul and the heart and the mind have to be in one every single day. Every single day. That's the problem. Is that you don't have the 4 line centers. 5 within the system, 6 within activation, 7 within the body of the high level system rotations, so it's water. Right? The 7 bodies of water of you inside. You have water inside. You start up 60-70% of water. You grab your rainbow activation systems, calculation to its vision. The problem is that humanity is coming into one coloration now. Into red, into blue, into green, right? You guys start off with your rainbows, but you're coming into a whole new cycle. Visca Pisces is a lot more powerful, putting it into higher position locations to placebos and cortex. So you really have to be cautious on your thoughts. Okay? Because you are creating it, especially when you want to go into the past and you want to resonate with this person, resonate with that person. You're opening up doors. And that's not good. That's not good. Because remember, if you're in a light track system, you can open up portals now, especially with my team. My team's into 80, 100, and 114. And there's no way they're going to do that because they know how powerful they are. That's the thing. Humanity doesn't realize how powerful they are through the mind yet, but they will once they understand the concept. And what thoughts do for you is it creates everything. It creates your jobs. It creates your relationships. Okay? It even creates basically, if you want to have a boy, if you want to have a girl, or you want to get married, you know, everything is created through you, through imagination. The imagination is the mind of all knowing of thoughts of travel through clocking. The more you get that, the more you understand it, the more you volume it, and the more you appreciate yourself inside, because you're a mechanism of travel of space that's created through transmitting and receiving information. Okay? So the new year is going to give you that, but you guys are going to be at higher levels of the mind of consciousness, right? So you can't have separation. Okay. The physical line just has to stand the interpretation, okay, and not get misdirected in any way and form, especially in this position. Okay, that's the most important thing. You want things in the future, then you become the future, right? You have to start thinking in the positive system on all levels of aspects of travel. That's the only way you can move forward in life, guys, right? As soon as you put yourself in the positive system, you're doing well. As soon as you put yourself in the negative system, it's okay to be in the negative system. You get a call, bad relationship. Oh, I want to get over this. Well, how am I going to get over this? Communicate inside. It will communicate back with you through voice. People try to understand what is the higher self. The higher self is just a higher conscious level of you. Okay? And then you create it who you want. A Marvel comic hero or anything, you know? You are the imagination, but you have to come into diversions. It's the divergent of you through superhero. Right? Whatever you want to create, you create through imagination. The imagination is everything through its form. And then it comes into all levels of E equals mc squared. Okay? To all positions, how to travel through 3, 6, and 9. And again, this is just a review, especially for the new viewers. I think it's better for them to understand, trying to find a way where everybody can understand what is happening with them. Okay? And this is all done through the aspects of what's this? This is your third eye. What does it all mean? Why is it here? Why do we have it? Sometimes it's complicated because you complicate yourself. Because you don't understand space. You don't understand space-time, what it is. And that's how you get things through illustrations, or I think through diagrams, right? Now, if you put in a good word for somebody, that energy is going to travel to that person. You put in a bad word for somebody, that's going to create a what? And a friction, right? So be cautious in what you do, right? Especially after the new year, okay? Because your life streams are coming into high rotations, coming into more balance of yin and yang. And that's what humanity has to get into. Yin and yang to space-time. Space-time doesn't need it. It's got balance of everything. There's balance of everything that you see, what you see through perception. Male and the female aspects of all levels of grounds, power, in the atmosphere, space-time is in balance. Humanity isn't in balance. Makes sense, doesn't it? Right? The hardest thing with my school is to understand, well, I understand the clock and interference, the channel line conditions, or 369 platforms, or anything to times square, times pi. What's the calculate modification? What's the digital flying center? What's the allocated position of planet interference? So you're trying to understand me, but you're forgetting to who you are. The only way you can do that is to start remember these things. Don't think of it as a test. Test is you through the universe. The universe is testing you, especially when you're trying to put yourself. You want these things? That's what you have to do. You have to treat yourself better. That's the only way you're going to get things. Treat yourself better and treat others just as they would be being treated to you, right? Do unto others as they do unto you. What policy is that? If it is to me, it's up to me. So I learned this in school, right? Sometimes you follow it, sometimes you don't. Sometimes people follow verbs, some people follow the Bible. Whatever you want to follow, that's your reality, that's your perception, that's your creation, right? That is what you're living. You're perceiving this every single day, right? So if you put something in the past, it will come back in the past because you want it, right? But be cautious because this person could be changed. But you're bringing them into the cycle. You're opening up the doors. Hey, come on in, right? And you realize, what did I just do? Now you not just have to deal with your problems, you have to deal with their problems too, because you brought something in. Okay? So it's amazing what you can do with your thoughts, because you don't understand what thoughts are. Okay? They are a magnetic force of travel. They are sonar. They are energy. They are waves. They are your life. They are your connection. They are positions to your avatar. And the avatar is just understanding the operation inside you, especially with the ringing ears of the inner and the audio track system. What is the third eye? What are my eye receptors used for? What is my voicing grid used for? What are my chakras used for? Right? What is my mind used for? What is energy, vibration, frequencies, and harmonic used for? right? That's what this school provides. It provides you what you need. So you get the balance of what's going on with you through its Operation Abbott's Avatar. Okay, and it's confusing to a lot of people because they don't realize, wow, I'm saying something and I'm getting it. You don't question it. You say, whoa, this is great. So you put your thoughts out there, your thoughts travel through energy. Energy transfers, you can't destroy it in any way and form. It's in its form system, it's in its calculation, it's in its travel, it's in its clocking, it's in its color, it's in its light, it's in its shape, and it's in its intelligence, right? So it's like sending a message to somebody and you getting it back. Whatever you say comes back to you. You guys refer to that as a karma cycle. So if you keep going around that 8 central line center, you're never going to get off that roller coaster until you wake up to that position location, to what you are through connections of thoughts. You're the creation to everything, to your own manifestations of life system. And you are the only one that can do that, nobody else, right? That is important to understand you, okay? Not people that you know, okay? Not even your family, especially when it's family. There's way too much with family, okay? Family's complicated, but you love your family. But the thing is too, is that family doesn't really know you, right? And the thing is, they're trying to figure out themselves. You can't figure them out. You have to figure yourself out. You're putting yourself in a bad example, right? Because they know you too well. That's why it's better to talk to a stranger, because they can't judge you in any way and form because they don't know you, unless you know them through energy and vibration frequencies, right? It's much easier. But humanity is coming into a better communication cycle, guys. And that's what you want. You want to come into a better form of everything through global network system, to everything locations. You know how powerful it is to have better communications with each other? You know how powerful it is to have a better relationship with each other and getting into relationships, right? And stating at all levels, oh, I've been here with this person 5 years. Now I have 3 kids. Now what am I going to do? Now you get a word alimony and this and that and this and that. And now what? Now you split up. Now you have 3 kids. Now you go back and forth. One week I have the kids. Next week the wife has the kids. Go back and forth, right? Now, if that's okay by you, that's fine. But you see, space and time is putting you a better knowledge of knowing how powerful you are to get into your imaginations, so you don't do these things over and over and over and over and over again. Okay? Because humanity's been on a cycle for too long, far, far too long. Okay? And things are changing. All right? So, all right, so you guys got a lot of questions. Great to see that. Lotus, how's it going? Cool. So humility be in line to this specific color locations. Yeah. You guys have a lot of questions. It's great. I'm just trying to get more sympathetic for everybody. What determines color line come in? Color is information to you to high position geometrics. So it's all about you understanding how to travel through 369. 369 goes to coloration. That times its frequency to positions. Grounds is brown. Everything balanced security is red. So whatever you come into through shape, it's positioned to your thoughts, which you're creating through its imagination. Okay? So it's a lot of fun when you get into more of the geometry system, the sacred universe, the sacred geometry, the conditions, right? But the thing is too, is that a lot of people go on so many platforms, but they don't know which to resonate with. They don't know what is right or what is wrong, is because they don't understand their system inside. Okay, it doesn't matter what you watch on TV. It has nothing to do with you, does it? You're just watching something because it's entertainment. So if you, like I said, if you don't take it literally, you're fine. You just see it as a, it's a concept. I'm looking at it. If you pick up in the energy, that's great. If you don't pick up in the energy, well, that's something that you can work on, right? But just be cautious in what you come up against and who you communicate with, because it's all about you to protect your system. That's number one, protect your kids. And I keep saying that over and over and over. That's the biggest thing you can do. But if you don't know yourself, how are you going to know others, right? And this has been going on for decades, right? A lot of men have a hard time approaching women. They don't know what to say to women. especially the ones that they're interested in, right? Too sophisticated. Oh, as a doctor, you know, I'm just a student, you know, or I'm a mechanic talking to a doctor. A little bit off there, don't you think, through vibration? But there's that chance there, right? It all depends on the mind and what you do through creation, just through imagination. It's all about understanding what you see on a person. Do they have a book? Do they have a pen? What book are they reading? Right? Compliment them. You know, really understand the male and the female aspects of yourselves. That puts you in a better relationship with yourself, which puts you in a better relationship with each other, especially when you come into the male and the female aspects of its relationship. Relationships are complicated, extremely complicated. It takes work. Work in reference to understand you through the male and the female aspects of you, not the person you're dealing with. The balance of you first. You have to know yourself first before you know that person. If you don't understand their energy, the vibrations are way off. That's not going to change. You have to find a person that merges with you through vibration. Now, once you go to a higher level system, that's fine because you can go back down, right? And it gets balanced for that conditions, and you can communicate on any level, right? And that's another thing that my school provides too. It puts you in a better balance to communicate with everybody. You know how hard it is to communicate with people if you don't understand where they are through energy, where they are through vibration, where they are through the mind, where they are through thoughts, where they are through creation. What do they want out of life, right? A lot of people don't. A lot of people lie. A lot of people get involved. A lot of people get in trouble. All because of what? Because they don't know who they are. Okay? Once you understand who you are, this gives you a better example. Okay? How to communicate to anybody at that level, especially meeting people for the first time, blind dates, you know? So, this is about keeping your abundance and your awareness every time you approach things, or even in a party. You know, somebody comes up to you, somebody said something to you. Do you know what you're going to say back? You know what I mean? It's the intuitive system to you through calculations. It's not about being smart, okay? See, the thing is, everybody's smart. Everybody's intelligent, okay? It's your approach. It's your approach. And body language is number one. Okay, body language is number one. Signals, reading signals from women, reading signals from men. It's very basic. You know, guys are blindsided through that. Okay, and you know, things have to change, and things are changing. Things are changing through the male and the female aspects of opposition, and this is all done through space and time inside you. So once you start creating these things, and you understand more of you inside, and you become more positive inside of your system, you start connecting, because body language is everything, especially through reaction. If somebody approaches you and you don't realize you're looking like, oh, I'm depressed, whatever, if you're thinking that or you're thinking that, that's what they're seeing. They're seeing that on your face. They're not going to approach you. They're going to walk away. What girl, what guy is going to be interested in a person that can't figure out their system? All right? You get over your system first. Get out of your problems, get out of the equations. Don't get involved until you understand your system first, right? So it's when people are ready to move on, okay? Because I've been across that through relationships, and all they talk about every time I meet a girl, she's always talking about her ex-boyfriends. Well, I'm not here to talk about your ex-boyfriends. I'm here to talk about maybe us. Maybe we got something going here. And I realize, whoa, I really don't know myself. So this is where it comes to the strengths of you and the weaknesses of you. Write it down. What are your strengths and what are your weaknesses? Right? So, and this overrides your system locations or anything through track system line center. The factoring, communication, manufacturing to position to its operation to its avatar. That's the most important thing you have to understand. Do you know yourself well enough to actually get involved in a relationship and feel good about it? If not, get out. You don't want to lead people on, especially if you're in a relationship, or basically, oh, I want to get comfort because somebody passed away. So that's the worst thing that you can do, right? Or basically going to bed angry, right, with each other in a relationship. It's the worst thing. You have to resolve these things, because if you don't resolve it, one's in one room, one's in another room. There's a separation right there. Anger, aggression. That's not going to hold up for too long, is it? You're going to be angry more and more and more. So you always have to resolve what's in the pit of your stomach. What is really bothering you? Get to the point. Get to the point of what is bothering you. Understand? That's the most important thing. You have to do that before you get balanced with anything. If you don't have balance with yourself, and every time you meet somebody, you're always going to have that expression on your face. And women are very powerful through the intuitive system, more than men are. Right? A woman can spot a man a mile away just by looking at their back. It's the intuitive system. They know somebody's behind them. Okay? They have an extremely high intuitive system, their energy track system location. Okay? They are aware there's somebody's behind them. Right? Because women are always being watched. Right? So they have to protect themselves more. Right? Because of their beauty. Right? Beauty goes a long way, but it's also the inner system, which is more powerful. The balance of beauty and the inner has to be in position locations to the male and the female aspects of them in position locations. Right? It's just as powerful as inside and out. Right? But see, it goes both ways. I mean, there's a lot of history and history repeating itself with humanity, trying to understand what's going on with them. That's the most important thing. But really, really understand you. Okay, that's the only way you can understand everything. You get to know yourself first, fully and completely, before you get involved with anybody else. Right? Because you don't know what's going to happen until it happens. And then what are you going to do? Right? You want to keep repeating the patterns? You want to keep repeating the tone line center and position locations and stay in that line center? Or do you want to just basically get to know yourself first before you get involved? You don't want to have repeating patterns in your life, guys. That's the worst thing that you could do. Okay? Especially when it comes to narcissistic relationships or everything like that, especially with women. And it goes both ways, women and men. But the male and the female aspects of Earth to your perception is coming into balance of your heart system. Okay? Better communications with yourself and each other. Okay? That's why all this is happening. All right? It's really isolating yourself and getting to know you inside, fully, completely inside. So when you come across these things, you know exactly what you're up against. You know their energy, you know their aura, you know their chakra system. You can read them from afar because you scan them first. That protects you alone. Body language is first before you talk. Right? There's a lot of signals out there. Right? Same thing with the males and same thing with the females. You guys can't pick up the signals. And that's what gets you in trouble. Right? It goes both ways. Right? So, and then you ask yourself, well, like I said, with the twin flame does come into your timeline, but that doesn't mean you're going to be with your twin flame in eternity. It just means that you met your twin flame for a reason. You're meeting people for a reason in your life to bring you forward. And you create that through your thoughts. Okay? You don't realize how powerful the mind is. It's a weak system to its allocated line center until you wake up through location. Okay? And remember, you're only dealing with 8 pounds of pressure of the brain. You don't want to overload the brain center and confuse the anomaly, everything through thoughts. If your thoughts aren't moving forward through the clocking center, yeah, you're going to get headaches and migraines and ringing ears constantly every single day. Right? Because you don't know how to delegate your system inside through vibration. Right? And that's going to put a lot of damage on you through override system to your operation of your avatar. So, a lot to say, eh? Lining to their specific color locations. Recently, someone said to me, I guess we're red because I'm wearing lipstick. She's wearing, yeah. So, women have a way to be suggestive to men, and men have a way to be suggestive to women. So there's always an attraction, and the attraction is what? Is the physical. It's the first thing that comes across the board. It's the eyes, it's the ears, and it's the listening. Are you listening to what's going on? Are you understanding the body language of what's going on? Are you aware of the situation of where you are, what's going on? So the thing is too, is that sometimes on a blind date, they usually bring a friend just in case it doesn't work out.
Or women have a tendency, oh, I got a phone call, just to get out of the relationship, even though it's not a relationship. So women are very smart in that way where they can really tell if they see a future with that person. That's the intuitive system, right? So women are more emotional, men are more physical. But again, it all balances out. So it's the male and the female aspects of everything through calculations, right? But once you understand yourself completely through all levels, you'll balance out your system and you'll get involved with the right relationship because you understand them through vibration. Okay? Because you're at their level, right? I'm not saying you can't get involved with these people. It's just that intuitive system through their vibration is higher than you. There's nothing you can do unless you get more into the mind of imagination, guys. So that's why everybody's unique in their own way, because everybody is at a different timeline, but you're all connected to each other. Everybody has different thoughts, different imagination, different creation, different manifestations. That will always, always, always never change, right? Sometimes we create the same thought. That's totally fine. That means that you're connected to each other more and more, but you have to have a merge to each other through vibration. You have to have something in common with each other. You don't have anything in common. What are you doing with this person? Does this person make you laugh? Does it make you cry? Does it have a sense of humor? I mean, these are things you look at. These are basic, basic, basic examples. But you really have to understand you first, all levels of energy, vibration, frequencies, and harmonic resistance before you get involved with anything through situations. And be cautious with your thoughts and what you create, right? Because you will get these things. Especially, I keep telling this to my team because they understand how powerful they are, but then they have to realize this is where comes more of the strength of the mind. The more you strengthen the mind, the more you go fast through the clocking, the more you get balanced, and the more you become the now of its operation, right? So they just start creating because they start remembering. They've already remembered, they've already created it. Now they just start creating the now. You have to live in the now. Okay? That's the future of you. Right? That's the balance between the male and the female aspects of you. That is space-time. Space and time is now. There's no past, there's no future. It's the now. Okay? So you start living in space, and then you become space, and then you are space. Okay? Now, these are the things that you can go up to higher level, especially when you go through the higher upgrades. It gets more confusing, right? Because the mind is trying to find more balance of what you're doing through thoughts of travel, especially when it's traveling faster. Some people talk fast, right? But every day you're creating. You don't even realize what you're creating through your thoughts. And people are not aware of the travel of its thought. Okay? And that's a huge, huge issue. All right? Especially when you want to heal your body. Right? You are the medicine inside that heals everything. Right? So, and this is where you have to really, really get into your vessels of treating your system to its operation. Better in all formation positions. Communicate with your heart. Right? Understand how it feels because it's inside. Right? So if you do these things, it starts changing you in all levels and how you do the process. It's a process of knowing, and the knowing is given to you through its solar memory. And when you start remembering these things, you become extremely powerful. Right? That's where you get your gifts and you come your super abilities and your powers and all that comes to you when you start remembering more and more of you. Right? That alone is a process too, right? And it all starts with meditation, right? The meditation is birthline center is you living the system of now. So humanity has never been in that. They've just been experiencing the past, the present, and the future, mixing that all up. Because when they go to sleep, they don't know what's going on with their connections and their visions. They don't know if this is the past. They don't know if it's the present. They don't know if it's the future, right? Because they don't understand the operation of them. And it's all done from inside. Okay, you really have to understand the inline center of you. And try to put yourself as the heart of a child. Okay? Try to know what it's like to be you as a child, to draw a picture, right? Feel good about yourself, right? Read a book, right? Use it as entertainment. Everything in life is entertainment. Everything in life should be fun. Yes, there are negative cycles, but you put yourself in that positions. Space and time doesn't have negative anything. It's balanced on every level. Humanity doesn't see that, but they want to get into that. Right? They want to get into that. Right? It's what you hear. Okay? That puts you in a process of deception. Okay? So, all right. Stephanie, how you doing? Buenos dias, Galactica, how you doing? Yeah, it's different on my phone than it is on my computer, so ride the waves, yeah. My team can help you out and always informs. Lotus is going. Feeling the pressure of old cycles, holding faith, not staying stuck, what's coming forward in the physical, because I know it's on its way out. But see, that's exactly what it is, Jen. It's on its way out. See, you're aware of that, right? So it gets complicated because the thing is, you can't be me, I can't be you, but it's hard to understand that I'm not everything through balance of its avatar. I'm just everything through space and everything through time, space, time, because not only I remember these things, but I understand why. Okay, and that puts me in a better example on how you have to have male and female aspects of you of balance of what space is, what time is to your manifestations, to your creation, co-creating to its creation. Raw, collective, unity of consciousness, awareness, abundance, it doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is you. And just focus on you. That's it. Don't focus on anything else. Isolate your room and just get to know yourself all over again from inside. Not outside, inside. Okay? That's confusing humanity because they've been doing too many outline centers and not enough inside rotation to its position about center location at times pi. Calculation to its connection. Right? So the more you concentrate inside, the more you understand your system. The more you get balance with everything of you, your life, right? Because the universe knows when you're off cycle and it's all positioned you through the grounds, right? And everything formulates everything through AI, which is you through awareness of its information to its perception of its operation. So, but are you aware? Are you abundantly aware? Are you ready to surrender? Right? So you don't want to think about these too long, because what does that do? It defeats the purpose. Life is about getting what you want. Life is not about being stagnant. Life is not about being confused. Life is about being aware of everything that you want through abundance, but you have to do it from inside. And it goes beyond the mind on so many levels, guys. Talk to my team when we travel, which is extremely real. Okay? So the mind makes it real because that's all you have. The mind, the body, the heart, and the soul. Now the body stays the underground system, right? It's the mind, the heart, and the soul that travels. So the physical line just has to understand the integration to its connection to its inner voice, which is you through the conscious system. There's so many conscious levels of space. And the more you go higher, the more it connects from you inside. You go more inside because you go faster. If you don't think your mind can go faster, I can't help you out with that. You have to help yourself. You have to know how fast you can go through the mind system. Right? Understanding what's inside. My team understands what's inside. Right? It's just getting the operation of what it is. Why is everything attached inside? What's the whole purpose of having this body if I can't manifest these things? How do I manifest these things? How do I understand the brain? How do I understand the mind? How do I understand my eyes? How do I understand my ears? How do I understand my heart? How am I going to understand anything if I'm separated? Right? You can't be separated, especially when you're creating thoughts. Right? A lot of people say things without knowing, and they don't realize what they just did, which is okay. It's a normal instinct. You say things that you didn't want to say, right? But as long as you refrain from that, you can bring it back, believe it or not. And that's understanding time frame. But a lot of people don't understand that. Humanity is just trying to understand what is going on with them. And that alone is confusing, right? But it's the operation of you inside, of all knowing, that's given to you in time. And that's what time is, which is now. Okay? So when you remember these things, you start remembering you through the soul, which identifies everything through its connections. How many timelines you've lived in dimensions of beings. Right? Like I said, it's again with the Pleiadians, the Pleiadians, the Lyrians, Lyrons, right? So, and it's a concept of you. Why do you think you come across these things? Because you started living them in dimensional light, dimensional beings in another time, another dimension, another portal, another calculation, right? Another universe, right? Right? Everybody's trying to decipher their systems, but they don't understand space and time. That's the separation. I keep saying that over and over. That's the most important thing. You guys come into that, and so a lot of people are gullible. They say, oh, there's no time, there's no space, there's no age, there's no location. No wonder you can't get these things, because that's what you perceive. But if you go inside, you realize there is space. You're creating space of you, which is what you want, right? So you're creating the space inside, okay, which is creating the time of travel through your thoughts of what you want through manifestation. And it's all connected to your heart. It's all connected to the mind, the eyes, the ears, the voice, your grids, your powers, your connections, your time frames, your time codes, your clocking system, your chakra system, your transponding and receiving. A lot of people are very confused because they don't understand the system inside. Mm-hmm. So when you create these thoughts, right, and you're moving forward, doing well. Just keep doing what you're doing. Keep doing what you're doing. And every time you do this and you start seeing these things, you see more vision. You see more time frames. You see more integration of you with future system. And it's very powerful when you come in that position locations. When you see everything through a vision and you realize, whoa, I'm visioning this and now I'm there. This is cool. You're looking 2 years from back and now you've got what you want. And then you just keep going and going and going and going and going. It never stops, never stops. There's no stop. It's constant flow, constant rotation, constant circulation. It doesn't stop. It keeps going, keeps going, keeps going. All right? So it just becomes a constant flow. And that constant flow becomes its constant clock. And that constant clock becomes everything through manifestations. Right? So every time you get up in the morning, you know you're doing something that you want. And you're bringing yourself going forward, not going back. Right? You get up and you're in the past. Now your thoughts are in the past. Your body's in the past. Your heart's in the past. Your activations, your coloration, your lights, your travels, your clocking systems in the past. Everything is in the past. It's funny though, but when you get up in the morning, it's not the past, is it? It's the now. You're staying in the now. Right? And that's the hardest thing, is to stay in the now. The now on all level of the mind, body, heart, and soul. That's the integration. That's your full communication to your avatar. The 7 body track system fully understand you through water interference. You come into your grounds, you come to all levels of your your fires, your airs, and your waters. My team understands these conditions. They truly understand their position, right? And this is going to put them more to what they want through manifestations. And then they can start helping each other, right? Help themselves out and then help each other. But you have to get back. Okay, that's what it's all about, right? Helping each other. And this is the most important thing. And then you realize, whoa, this is fantastic. So you're helping best of both worlds here. You with inside and you with outside of everybody. That changes everything, right? Soon as you see change inside you, everything outside will change. For your community, your family, everything in this relation. Now, I didn't say it was going to be easy, but it's up to you to do it, right? Everybody has the power to do these things, and it's all done through its mind. Okay? So, art, blue orbs, circles, and rainbows, sheen parts of blue orbs. Yeah, so you're just going through high level conditions of orbs and dimension line center. The avatar is trying to understand you to the services locations of travel. Okay? Yeah. I'm just going to go back a bit. It's been over an hour. It's an hour and a half already. An hour and a half. I feel like I've only talked 5 minutes. No filter or anything. I'm just getting more informative with you through communications of how, not just how I feel, but how you should feel about yourself. I'm moving forward on what you want. Okay? So, yeah, you feel like a switch is about to flip, and that's exactly what's happening with you. Yeah. Right in the waves is the biggest thing. Yeah. Going forward, design conditions set. Getting into the flow direction of time. So, no, you don't have to delete anything, Don. It's all representation of you, but it's also good and a good example too for other people to know, because they've been through that position. So it's also good, and knowing that when you're doing these things, you're giving something back. Like if it's a representation of you through the past, that will help them to move forward in the future, which is the now. So. All right. You guys have a lot of questions, eh? It's great to see everybody. Hope everybody's doing well. I will be heading over to TikTok. You have any questions or comments? All right. Does who I am answer evolve? I've answered and come understanding to a degree who I am, but I feel there is more that I am not yet aware. And I just told you exactly, answered all your questions. It's all about you, okay? And what you want. Extremely powerful, yeah. Oh, birthday. Wow. All right, Tina. 12/31. Excelente. There's something to look forward to. Yep. That's great. A lot of questions you guys have. It's fantastic to see these things. Yeah, so the more you concentrate on you, everything outside will work for you and not against you. It only works against you only through your thoughts of activation to negative system. The mind has to stand the conceptual system location of travel, right? As soon as you change your program, you change everything inside, which changes everything outside. As an instant, because you don't understand the thoughts of clocking, right? And that's the important thing. When I go to my school, everybody gets an understanding how to travel through the 369s and how many times you can understand your conditions and what you're doing through your thoughts, right? This will help you out in all ways and forms, since it'll put you in a better example how powerful it is to get in that line conditions. So, oh, Merry Christmas. It was yesterday, but yep, Merry Christmas. Unconditional of you. Change what suits you inside. You change things over and over and over. There's a lot to learn from inside you. Everything that you change, you need to change, will change outside because you're changing your body of vibration. That changes the body to all of the systems of water, to the grounds, the clock center, to the atmospheres, to the animals, to people. Everything changes, which is amazing. And it's all done through you of thought perception. Okay? But it's up to you to do these things on your own. You have to figure this out. Right? How to get the balance of you and all levels of communication inside. So, yeah, I know. This month went really fast. I know. I can't believe it too. It's unbelievable how, the month just, goes so quickly, especially when you realize what's happening with you, right? So, yeah, I know exactly what you guys are saying even before you ask the question. And that's all about not just reading everything that's going on, but why am I reading it? So you get a better understanding how to do this yourself. Because it is my telepathy to telekinesis, and that's what humanity is coming into, is the balanced frequencies of yin and yang. So, all right, so I think that's good. An hour and a half. I hope you guys are doing well. I will be heading over to TikTok for a bit. Okay? Team, adios.